suffering suffering with memory illnesses and more. So my goal in Neuro Nosh is to help educate everyone on foundational clinical skills, professionalism, and exposure to diverse fields of healthcare. So I hope that everyone here receives a great learning opportunity through this program. And I will give it to Michelle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I am the Secretary of Neuro Nosh. My interest in healthcare comes from navigating the pre health pathway as a first generation college student without clear guidance, which inspired my commitment to expanding access to health education and mentorship. As an EMT, I have witnessed the human side of medicine through patient care and hospice transports, shaping my passion for clinical ethics and compassionate care. Through NeuroNosh, I aim to make health education more accessible while highlighting both the clinical and ethical aspects of medicine. I'm also BLS instructor certified, so I will be helping out with BLS certifications in the future.
Hello, my name is Jaden. As well as Michelle, I am also an EMT and also BLS instructor certified, and also will be helping with teaching those and getting people certified as efficiently as possible. I have a strong passion for emergency medicine, and this is driven just because I find it one of the most interesting fields of medicine, and I currently want to be an ER doctor in the future. My goals with Neuronosh are to help educate as many people on emergency medicine and the skills that go with it, since I truly believe that if more people are taught how to respond in an emergency, more lives can be saved. And if more lives are saved, that's just a general good for society.
Hi guys, my name is Katrina. I will be serving NeuroNosh as your outreach officer. I want to help NeuroNosh with accessible healthcare and education for underserved communities, or especially those from immigrant families, is deeply important to me. I have first-hand experience with these challenges of navigating a healthcare system if you have language barriers or your first time in care. Through NeuroNosh, I hope to support communities by providing accessible health resources, workshops, and resources.
Hi guys, I'm Kunsh. I'm gonna be serving as the finance chair for Neuro Nosh. A little background about me. I'm passionate about finance, especially in real estate and construction. I have a background of construction and analyzing businesses. I won't go in details with that. But why I joined Neuronosh is because I wanted to combine two things I deeply care about. First, helping people become more financially informed, and second, spreading better medical awareness. That's because after I saw my brother go through like a serious medical problems, I realized how important it is for people to have access to clear and reliable health knowledge. Neuronosh for me felt like the perfect place where I can combine both of these passions and like create a meaning and an impact in the world.
Thank you to our team. Now we're going to be getting into the virtual workshops. So I'll have each one of the team talk about their workshop along with some of the and the speakers that are going to be taking part.
Hi guys, so our first workshop, which we're going to be having today after the orientation, is going to be on work and wealth, where we're going to talk about career and development, as well as the financials you may have to consider if you pursue higher education.
And our next workshop on Wednesday will be led by me, and I'll be talking about navigating medical ethics and a little bit of biotech. Our guest speaker, who unfortunately will not be able to make it anymore, was Dr. Emily Merchant, who is a professor of science and technology studies at UC Davis.
And although Dr. Emily Merchant cannot make it to this specific workshop, she is planning on taking part in a future workshop focusing more onto her research of reproductive medical technologies. And instead, I'll be talking about the technology used in research, specifically neurosurgery. So those are consisting of making head plates, EEGs, EMGs, along with some tech that we use in basic day, like micropipetting and like PCR and electrogeophoresis. So it would be a really good intro to different types of technologies that we use in research along with the medical field. So I really hope you guys are able to partake in that.
So this Friday, I will be hosting a workshop with Understanding the Memory in Epilepsy Patients, along with my PI and guest speaker, Dr. Kat McNeagley. In this workshop, we'll be kind of going over concepts of memory in epilepsy patients, along with cognitive tests, study cases, and you guys will get the opportunity to go through the test as if you were the patient. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
So this is my workshop on neurosurgery and the sleeping brain. I focus on a lot of these neurosurgical operations that we do. So we focus on viral injections into specific lobes. We also do tissue slicing and staining so that we can see different regions if we inject into the right site. And then through this, you'll learn more about my research along with how to get into the specific field and just what exactly neuroscience research consists of and how you can apply sleep science into your own lifestyle. So I hope you can join.
Okay, the next workshop we have is going to be radiology, where in the beginning I will be going over the different types of imaging, when they're used and why they're used, and the pros and cons of them. Then after that, we will have our guest speaker, Dr. Santiana, going over and talking about her experience. She is a radiologist and professor at UCSD, and she's also on the board for RSNA, which is the radiology board for North America. And that will be that presentation. So after the radiology one, the following 2 days after, we'll have our cardiology comprehensive, in which we'll have Dr. Sani going over his work as an EP doctor, which is an electrophysiologist. Um, he'll be going over EKGs, how the heart works, and other diseases related to that. Then he'll go over more specifically his specific work in electrophysiology, including what an ablation procedure is, how he does his work, what the new innovations in the field are, and why what he does is important and how it can help save lives.
Yeah, now going into internship requirements. So for these internship placements, you would have to attend 4 of the 6 workshops. This basically just consists of you going to the workshops, staying there for the whole time, and then filling out a Google form so that we can track your attendance. And in these workshops, we expect full participation. So if you're able to engage with the materials along with answering questions and just reaching out, then that would mark for your participation. And then we also expect you to have transportation to these internship sites. So these would be based around Sacramento, Davis, just anywhere based off of your convenience. And then finally, for the last part of the internship, we're just going to ask you to get your hours signed off by your supervisor so that in the future, if you're applying to medical school or any other opportunities, you kind of have a record to send it to the employer. So now let's talk about the hands-on workshops. So these would be later on into the program. Once we complete the HPP program, then we would be able to have access to these hands-on workshops. Likely they'll be in the next academic year, but we'll have many services and opportunities in the summer for you to look forward to. So first is our vitals workshop. We're going to teach you how to read the normal ranges along with heart rate, blood pressure, pulse oximetry. Having that basis is going to be extremely essential for the future workshops where we're able to interpret these readings and then apply it to the specific diagnosis along with situation. Next is going to be suturing. I'll be taking a lot of my previous experience working in the clinical field along with my department to teach you different techniques such as the interrupted, continuous running lip stitch, the vertical mattress, and then the horizontal mattress. And then we'll also be teaching you how to use the tools, and then you get to work together and be able to suture up a synthetic skin. And again, all these are going to be in person, and then we'll have a room booked out so that you can come in and you can learn how to suture with your friends. Next is going to be blood draws. So we'll be going over venipunctures, butterflies, tourniqueting, different vein sites to get blood from, how to tell between arterial and venous blood, So just a comprehensive overview on blood draws. And then we're going to be doing stop bleed. This one's going to be mainly taught by Jaden and Michelle, where they'll be taking a lot of their previous EMT experience and teaching them how to tourniquet to stop the bleed, along with packing, wrapping, just so kind of have a good understanding of what to do in these emergency scenarios. And then we're going to be doing our CPR basic life support workshop. This one is going to be the one where we're going to be certifying you all for free. And so all you have to do is just come to the workshop, do the training, watch the videos, do the quiz, and then you'll have your CPR and basic life support certifications. Yeah, that one's also going to be taught by Jane and Michelle. And for certifications, again, you would just have to attend 4 out of the 6 virtual workshops. You'd have to complete the training. All these are going to be in person and they're free of cost. And in addition to the CPR and basic life support certification, we'll also be giving you all a certification of completion for the Neuro Nosh HPP program. So make sure you attend those 4 workshops. And so that is it for the orientation. If you have any questions, feel free to send it in the chat or raise your hand. But other than that, we can start moving on to the raffle. So I'll give a little bit of time if anyone has any questions right now.
I just had a quick question like about CPR because I'm already like certified, so I was just wondering like if I would still be able to participate in that, just like for practice.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So with the CPR certifications, if you already have your certifications, we can totally help you get it renewed for free. So that's still an opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Course. And then in the chat are all the in-person workshops going to be over the summer. We'll likely do a split of half and half. It really depends on the program schedule along with collaborations. But we're thinking for the more intensive workshops, such as the basic life support, along with the CPR, we're going to try to be flexible with it. And we're thinking maybe it'll be better in the next academic year. That way everyone's back in school and we can have everyone in the same place. But yeah, we'll let you know and we'll keep you updated on when all these hands-on workshops are going to be. But preferably, we'd like it to be in a date where it works for everyone. Yeah, good question. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so I think now we can get into the raffle session. So I'll hand it over to Michelle.
All right, so how this is going to work is I'm going to pull up one of the prizes. So first we'll have the capybara prize. This is weighted. It's really fun and cute. And then I have the box over here that you guys inserted your tickets into, and I just opened it up. So let's see who is the winner of the capybara plush toy. All right, is Avanch here?
Please speak up or text in the chat if you are here. The only way to win the prize is to get your attendance for today, so please make sure to speak up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. All right, it's okay. I'll pull another one. All right, Nathan's son. Oh yeah. All right, Nathan, I will email you to coordinate how to get the capybara to you, but congratulations.
So just a disclaimer, the raffle, this is for in-person tabling. So if you were able to catch us tabling at one of those locations, then you were able to enter the raffle. But we will be having raffles more in the future. So don't worry, you'll have an opportunity.
The next prize is the Stitch plush. I don't know if you can see it. I have the blur thing on, so let's see who gets that prize. All right, is Grace Tong here?
Oh, I'm here.
Yay, congratulations. I will email you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, and then finally, we have the Labubu. This is the Hello Kitty mystery. There's a bunch of different options that you can get. All right, let's see. Uh, Daniel.